Hi, this is Hariyar Sasane. Welcome back to my channel. So my today's topic is login in and login out. So my first point I'll be introducing you to is introduction to the Linux login. What is Linux login? A Linux login refers to the process of authenticating and gaining access to a Linux based system. It involves providing valid credential, username and password to access the system resource and services. There are two types of logins like local login and remote login. Basically, local login indirectly from the machine's terminal or console is called local login, and remote login means accessing the system from another machine over a network using protocols like SSH, secure shell. Basically, why Linux login is important? It is important because of security, access control, system integrity. These are the main basic things of Linux login. So moving further, my next slide tells what happens during login. So first is user prompt, second is password prompt, authentication, environment setup, access control, session initialization, login. This is a process of Linux login, you can say. So moving further to the next slide. So my next slide tells login method in Linux. So as you can see in this slide, there are many types or methods in login. So first is local login console, second is graphical login GUI, remote login SSH, third is TTY login, fourth is studio login, fifth is display manager login. So as you can see, I've given all the methods of login in this slide. So moving further ahead, so I'll be covering using the terminals to the login. What is terminal to the login? As you can see in this slide, there are four types of terminal login. Local login console login, second is remote login SSH, third is session start, fourth is session exit or exit the session. This is the basic. Basically, I have given the examples also over here. In front of login console, there is login, username and password. So while logging in a website or anything, so for security, we give username and password. So you can get access to the data. Remote login is like username, a mail is generated, and for that mail a certain password is there. This can give you access to the data or something. And last is exit out or logout. Moving further ahead, my sixth slide is graphical user interface GUI login. So as you can see in this slide, login screen, second is enter credentials, third is session selection option, fourth is authentication, fifth is access desktop, and last one is logout. So basically, login screen, display manager GDM light DM shows the login screen with the user option. Second option, enter credentials, select or enter username, then type password hidden for the security. Third is session selection optional. Choose desktop environment, GNOME, KDE if available. Authentication means system check credential and if valid start the desktop environment. Fourth is access desktop, user access the desktop and application. Last one is logout. Login file configuration. As you can see, there are three pictures in login file configuration. First picture tells us that in the terminal window, run the automatic configuration tool. In second picture, you can see from the main menu to the configuration and authentication service, enter 3. From the list, select the service you want to configure for authentication in Linux. So moving for the next slide, login out in Linux. There are four types or four methods, you can say. Terminal logout, type exit or logout to the end the session. Second, graphical logout. In GUI, GNOME, KDE, click system menu logout. Third is remote logout SSH. Use exit or logout to disconnect from remote session. And fourth is forced logout admin. Admin can force logout with sudo kill you username. Moving further to the next slide. So my next slide is remote logout. There are four methods or four sections you can say. User using SSH secure shell. Second is closing SSH connection control plus D using pkill administrator. Fourth is disconnecting via SSH client. So using SSH secure shell, this tells us to log out from a remote SSH session, type exit or log out. This will terminate the SSH session and return you to the local terminal. Second is closing SSH connection control plus D. You can also press control plus D to log out and close the remote session. Third is using pkill administrator. An admin can forcefully terminate a remote session by running sudo pkill kill it pts/x when x is the terminal number of the user session. Disconnecting via SSH. The point tells us if using an SSH client like PUTTY, simply close the client window to disconnect. Moving to the next slide. So my next slide tells us that session and login management commands. So first command is who. List logout in user and their terminal. Second is W. Display who is logged in and their activity. Third is who am I. Show the current username. Fourth is last. Shows the last login time of user. Fifth is last log. Display the last login time for each user. Sixth is logout. Logs out the current user. Seventh is pkill. Terminates process out or logs out user. Eighth is finger. Display the details with the user info. Ninth is exit. Exit the current session. 10th is shut down reboot. Shut down or reboot the system. My next slide tells us that security consideration in Linux. There are 5 considerations: strong password, SSH key, limit root access, account logout, session timeout. So strong password. Enforce complex password to prevent brute force attack. SSH key. Use SSH key instead of password for remote login. Limit root access. Avoid direct root login. Use sudo for admin tasks. Fourth is account logout. Lock account for multiple failed login attempts. Fifth is session timeout. Set session timeout for inactive user to prevent unauthorized access. So my last slide is conclusion. So what conclusion tells us that Linux login and are fundamental to system security with multiple methods for both local and remote access. Proper login management and session control ensures only authorized user can access the system while safeguarding sensitive data. Security practice like strong password, SSH key, least privilege and logs authenticating and essential for protecting the system from the unauthorized access and potential attack. Regular monitoring and to security protocols ensure a secure and efficient Linux environment for user and administrator. So basically login and logout is an important part in Linux. So thank you for giving me such a chance to present my presentation. Thank you.